I think it will bless your heart. Right? It comes across with the tone and how you mean to say it. So in French, in American English, we say, what's up? The young people probably say, well, what's up? Oh, what's your say? Répétez 3 fois, which means repeat 3 times. So we're going to practice it 3 times, and what I want to do is I'm going to give you a 1, ça va, or 2, ça va. So when you see Joanne at the U.S. Embassy taking pictures and she's not supposed to be, and the security guards are coming and I say, je ne connais pas les Américains ici, which means I don't know who this crazy American is, and I walk off, you're going to go, ça va, number 1. So are you ready? We're going to repeat 3 times. Ça va, ça va, ça va. I didn't tell you what it means though.
I wondered too.
It means it's going or it's going well. And in the case where I go, ça va, that means it's not going well and I'm not happy, which, bless their hearts. There were times when it was going well and there were times when I went, ready? We're going to do the low-key ça va. So 1, 2, 3. Ça va, ça va, ça va. You'll be walking around town at the gas station or something, and somebody will upset you and you'll go, ça va. It's a great phrase. It means it's going or it's not going well. So when you hear me say 1, ça va, 2, ça va. We can teach you some other phrases that may not be necessarily very Christian-like, but sure call them. If you want to learn those at-home between friends phrases, I can write them down without my signature and leave you to share them with whoever you like.
So, are you ready?
We'll be in just a few seconds. All right, let's do a run-through. We'll try one more time. The high ça va. Number 1. Ça va. And you ready for the low key? Ça va. Perfect. I don't care what I heard about all of you earlier. I think you're very sweet. Joanne and Deb were commenting in the hallway. I won't see any names. Did everybody sign in for the drawing?
No.
We've got a few minutes here. We're actually waiting for some people. Do I? Oh, pick it now?
Yeah. Dig in there. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can read.
Isn't it French? Oh, I'm sorry.
Michael McCracken? Hey! Everybody give him a hand. What I say? Number 1. It's going well for Michael. So quick note, I drove to Omaha today. I went to Offutt and got you all wine from the Air Force Base. That's the Moscato's currently being served. And after I left there, I went and got some very wonderful homemade bread from the Great Grain Company. They do all their baking there. They do their own flour stuff there. It's really a neat place. So please enjoy the cornbread. And I think the other one was called Cranberry Orange. Cranberry Orange, thank you. Help yourselves. And then, of course, Jackie Moshik has been so sweet. She cooked up a bunch of cookies. And make sure to say applause for Jackie for going through the trouble. I buy baked goods, Jackie makes baked goods. I'm not inclined to cook. So we've got quite a thing. If you have not been, some of you were here for the first presentation. Thank you so much for coming back. This is the Las Vegas version. It is, because I'm going to, there's stuff that we did not cover in the last version. We're hoping that we're not going to be restricted on time. If you do need to leave, the only thing I will ask you is to please maybe, excuse me,
Take your card.
exit to the back and walk out rather than come up where we're talking stuff. We don't want to kick you or trip you or take it personal and push you into somebody. So, and if you want anything to eat, please feel free to get up and go. Is there anybody who probably need, I don't know where the bathrooms are in here.
Right now, I'm all in.
Where they're pointing, just go out that door and they good luck. I don't know that I've ever actually used the restrooms here. Dad, go out the door and go south when you go out the door. D. Lanspaw says you should go west. Which way? I'm facing east. So that's west.
gotta go south.
Gotta go south.
Then west.
Then west.
South and then west. Yeah, if you have a phone and you have Google Maps, just pull up Google Maps and tap walking directions toilet. Yeah, there you go. David City Library, and in French it's La Toilette, so you'll have to translate that into English, which is toilet. Anybody have any questions about anything before we begin our little goofiness? We're still, I think we have, well, we almost have all 60 people here. I'm waving at everybody. I'm actually going to go ahead and let me start my camera so I can get going here. Yeah, make sure to applaud for Kay, because without Kay, let me tell you, nothing would be happening.
Some programs coming up at the library. March 5th, we are going to try one more time. This is the third time to have Jeff Barnes come, and he's going to talk about his book, 150 at 150. He went around the state and picked out 150 structures and buildings that were relevant to the history of Nebraska. And he put them together in a book, and so he's going to come and talk about that next Monday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. The other thing that we have coming up in March is the hospital is going to come and do a program with Connie Schmidt and Eric DeWispler as the speakers, and they're going to talk about diabetes, pre-diabetes, wellness, and all the things that you can do to help stay healthy. So that is March 21st from noon to 1, and you do need to sign up for that because the hospital is providing the meal. So without further ado, the Las Vegas showing, Michael Lachance and Friends Go to France. So, yeah.
Hey. I'll do my own quick plug. I don't know if you know, I work mostly in computers and technology. Some of you probably have had me come over and fix your computer. That's what I do as a main job. I write on the side because I have some adventures. I travel quite a bit. And so I've written some books. You have an opportunity if you'd like. They're here on sale. They're lower price than they would be on the web to help yourself. One is a drama. It's about a Catholic priest that's in Verdun, France, World War I. I actually was in Verdun, France. Not during World War I. Not with this coloring. And I heard the story about the priest, and so I wrote my own thing about what he did. He actually was able to go onto the battlefield. Anybody familiar with World War I was a horrible thing, and take pictures during the live action. So you cannot imagine that he actually survived and lived to live his life out. So it's really an unbelievable thing. Anyway, I've written a story based on some of that in truth, and then the rest of it. The other book, The Long Short, is about, I have to say that this person does not exist for fiction purposes, but I ran into a fictional character at the Paris airport in April last year who was a monster. And so this fictional character I wrote a story about, I made her plane crash and I put her on a deserted island. That's The Long Short. As you can see by the picture on the cover, there's an island. Anyway. The books are on sale, Harry. I'm happy to sign them for you. I'd be delighted if you'd like to pick up a copy. They're also in ebook copies on Barnes & Noble, Apple iTunes Books, Amazon, Google, you name it. So I'm very fortunate to have that. I haven't done a J.K. Rowling yet, which is I've sold 10 million copies, but I'm working diligently to get there. Now, so let's get started. Ça va? Ça va? Okay. For those of you who weren't here, Vicki and Dale Kirkman. Sorry, that wasn't very Christian. We're practicing, what we have one is a happy ça va, so it's ça va, and the two is ça va. So just roll with it. So how this all started, for those of you who don't know, I was in the Wellness Center. I had this trip coming up in November, and I happened to mention in passing, it'd be nice to have somebody to go along with me. I usually travel by myself, even to Europe, Poland. I usually just go by myself because I have friends there, and I meet them, and then I'm kind of independent, and then when I'm done visiting with them, I go on and just do my own thing. But I had mentioned to Joanne and Candy at the Wellness Center, it'd be nice if you could come along. I probably was drunk, I don't know. Because after the couple days passed, I walked into the Wellness Center, and Joanne has a Ziploc bag, and she pushes it to me about 8 o'clock in the morning and says, "My daughter thinks it's a great idea." I said, "Okay, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." She goes, "I'm going to go with you to Europe." Really? All right. Wow. Could I go walk the track for a minute and get warmed up? So come on in, folks. Come have a seat. If you'd like some wine or some snacks, help yourself. They're behind you. So, long story short, because some of you already heard this, I told Joanne, yeah, of course, you know what, come along. About 2 weeks go by, and we've already bought tickets, paid for reservations, booked trains, airplane, all. Deb and I are talking on the phone, and she says, "I heard Joanne Luker's going on a trip with you." And I, as polite as I could, I said, "Yeah." She is going. I don't want to be rude, so I'll just keep my mouth shut. "Well, Michael, I would really like to go." "Yeah, I was afraid you were going to ask that." And Deb, actually, I owe her a favor because while I was working the Macy's Day Parade in New York City, I met the CEO of Macy's. And the CEO was dating someone who was from what starts from Hastings. And she said, "Oh, I heard you guys do kolaches. I don't even know what it is. I'd love to have some. And my girlfriend would love to, get them, but we don't have anybody we know." Deb made those kolaches. We had them driven to Columbus. They were driven directly to Omaha Airport, and they were literally put on a plane. I'm not pulling your leg, and flown overnight to New York City. Literally, I picked them up at Deb's about 3 o'clock to the post of Columbus, Columbus to the airport, straight to New York City. They had them at 10 in the morning at Macy's corporate headquarters. Wow. So when Deb said, "Can I go with you?" I was waiting to hear, "Come on in, please, have a seat."
What's fair trade, right?
Hank and Bonnie, come on in. There's some chairs here. Did you want some wine or some baked goods?
No.
So, it makes it kind of hard. I was waiting for her to go, kolaches, like that subliminal stuff. Like, "I want to go on the trip with you, kolaches." I just kind of thought that's what was going to happen. I mean, you can go, but you know what? It's 11:20 on Saturday. If you don't have your tickets and everything and your reservations by 12:10, you're not going.
Really?
We did it.
Yeah, I even got a free referral for American Express credit card on Delta Airlines. Like, sign up for that, get that, click this, put my name there. I want my miles. Anyway, so we probably should get rolling. So we all went to France, and I know Joanne and Deborah are other great friends. Joanne's traveled with my aunt before, so it wasn't like it was completely out of the question. So this is us at Omaha Epley Airport. I don't know if everybody can see. If you can't see, you might want to move over to these chairs in this corner. I don't know if am I in the way?
You're fine.
Hey?
You're fine, Michael.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we might have, if any of you want to move there, we'll stop for a second. That might be better. I didn't realize that I'm going to be in the way here, and I really don't have a lot of faith to move. There's like 5 chairs in this back right and 2 right in the front. Unless you want the wine and you want to be in that corner so you can get drinks. Anybody else want to take a quick hike?
Excuse me.
That's right. It's only $1 fine if you walk in front of us. Or push into the crowd. I have one.
Oh, absolutely. Would you like some more? There's plenty out there.
Yeah, my cup's empty now.
Okay.
Does it run it over? All right, so let's get moving because I know we're on the clock.
What are they scared of?
The fact that I'm traveling with them to France. I'm not being rude, but I didn't fly in the same section as them. Michael said to close the curtains. Thank you. All right. Our flight over was very quiet. It was a night flight, thank God. Joanne and Deb were in the back. I asked the flight attendant to check on them, and I did. I actually, Deb, we couldn't quite get the particular class worked out. Deb was in coach, and she said, "Well, I don't think there's any food on that flight." So I came back with bananas and stuff. I'm like, gave her bananas, ran back to first class. Yeah, I had a lot of miles to use, so I flew first. Yeah, I didn't pay cash, trust me. And We arrived at Charles de Gaulle. Yay! Ça va? Now let the drama begin. This is not thinking ahead on my part. There's a particular restaurant called Auberge Schupffelden. It's German. I won't get into all the details why, but this is actually in France. So our friend's driving, and my friend is very cut and dry in her English. If she says something, it's usually very, it's either that or it's that, and there's no gray. So we're driving up this mountain. Obviously, it's very cold, it's snowing, and they pull off the road into basically a snow-covered ditch. And I thought, I asked her in French, are we going to get out and like walk a little bit and look at the scenery? No, we have to get out and walk. There's no cars past this point. I said, but the restaurant is like, 3 more miles up the mountain. It is. I'm dressed with these shoes, these jeans, and a windbreaker. It's negative 31 Celsius, which is about 0. Joanne and Deb are talking, so in French I'm telling Sophie I have to figure out how to translate to them. We're screwed. And walk about 3 kilometers or a mile and a half. And they thought I was joking. No, we really have to get out of the car and walk. If you want to eat, this is what you're going to do. But the food is brilliant. And so we did get out and walk. As we're walking, and you can see, this is unbelievable. It's beautiful. So they're walking ahead of us. I don't know how excited they were, but they were up. So I lost sight of them. And I'm looking, I go, oh God. Où est-ce que les amis ici? And my friend goes, yeah, well, either they have made the turn to the restaurant or they have fallen from the mountain. So, Sophie, she's a very sweet lady. I've known her for almost 30 years. And Sophie, that's just how she talks. If you say, how are you doing? Yeah, well, I have a bad headache, but I'm okay. So Joanne and Deb are not there, and I'm like, that's not helpful at all, so. So, Deb! Joanne! There already. We're arguing where's the restaurant, because we cannot see the building in the snow. We're freezing. Her kids are there. Sophie's talking with her husband, and I think I was pushing that small building. I don't remember why. I may have been drunk. I don't know. Yeah, if you can't see it, I'm literally pushing that building, and I honestly don't remember why I was pushing that. You? Yeah, well, it's on picture now, so we're stuck.
You have to understand, before we even started this venture, it was nice. The sun's shining, as we're getting up into the mountains, the snow's starting, so it's getting worse and worse as we go.
I should say, yeah.
They take their
We're
chance of snow.
Yeah, they're down at the base of the mountain, so it's still kind of green, it's 40 degrees, and we're thinking, yeah, this is going to be great. But then as we started going up, it was just, translating, well, we may have to walk. Walk where? Okay, we may have to do this. So, up the mountain, now we were literally, we're lost and we're going to freeze it then. And Sophie's, it's just there in the dark. Okay, yeah, and so we kept hiking, and finally, ta-da! So, neat part about this restaurant, 40 people for lunch, that's it. The food you can do, and they were kind of thinking I was messing with them. In this back right corner, behind the restaurant, there are what we call lapin, which is rabbit, duck, and chickens. So if you want duck, rabbit, or chickens, you go pick. They thought I was messing around, and I'm like, no, come here.
Order pasta, it's fine.
Of all things, you're from Nebraska, and you go and you say, like, are you serious? It's upsetting you that they're going to kill the chicken? There's rabbits all over David City. They're worried about, well, I didn't know they were really going to do that. I mean, when they cut the ears off? Yeah, to bleed it out. They'll rip the skin off. They'll put it in a pot, boil it, and then, bon appetit. Yeah. No takers. Whoops. So we're celebrating that we made it up there. We ended up having some very delicious food. They don't serve any extras. If you go to Applebee's and get dinner and you get salad dressing and everything, you ask for more, you get different creams. They put the salad dressing on the lettuce, you're done. They don't add, and if you ask, you'll get some funny stares. It's just their way of things. The lettuce, the meats and everything already prepared. These actually are beef. I don't know if you did them. You did them.
I can't remember what they're called. They're like a jelly roll, only done with pasta
and
And
beef. Yeah, it was really delicious. I'd never seen anything like it. So apparently, almost like a cinnamon roll, laid out. They put the meat in it, and then they roll it up, and I forget, was it garlic? And Joanne's got it. So if you want the recipe, touch base with Joanne. I don't remember what that was.
Goat cheese.
Goat cheese,
And
okay.
the goats are running around outside.
Yeah, well, yeah, there were literal goats out there. I'm like, but we're not going to go kill a goat. We did kill some cabbage, though. They had purple cabbage, and I don't even know what the orange thing was. Because they're bringing.
Beets and carrots.
We don't want to be rude. You know, people bring you food, you look at it, and you go, go ahead, Deb, you go ahead. Well, have you had? I don't remember having it. I was drinking. So, I honestly don't remember what the orange thing was, but it was good. We ate it. Everything they put in front of us, we cut up and we took a little bit, and then when we realized it was okay, we ate.
This is our appetizer, unlike, breaded cauliflower and mushrooms and all that jazz.
Yeah, fried calamari, fried mushrooms with horseradish sauce. Everything's very natural, very organic, and then really nice laid out. And I would have never thought to eat this red beet cabbage stuff. It was delicious. So now where my friends live is eastern France. It's in east of Paris, about 200 or 300 miles. And so we take TGV, which is the high-speed rail train, and I do have some video of that to show you. So we're in the Alsace wine region, and that's pretty much what they're known for. Joanne had a great time in the Alsace wine region, which you're going to see. She's more hands-on than we were, which is the number one. So, if you're an alcoholic, that's like Johnny Carson a minute there. Like, okay, I'll tell that joke over again. So Sophie, you're at the wine person's house. So they have a phone, and they're upstairs sleeping or resting or whatever. It was dinner time, and Sophie picked up the phone, and she literally says, yeah, well, I have Americans down here, and they want some wine, so open. Demanding to have some wine, and they did. And this is Joanne with her tablet looking at these casks, which were not for consumption, but Joanne managed to get some wine out of a couple of them. Not ready for consumption. Joanne did lots of things with that flippin' tablet, which we'll get to later. So the next slide is a picture of us enjoying the wine, learning about the wine. Something special that they do in France is at the point in the fall when the temperature reaches freezing, they have 30 or 40 workers in the wine fields with their baskets. The guy says, look, the grapes have been at 32 degrees our temperature Fahrenheit now for a couple of hours, and then they go pick them because it changes the flavor of the wine, which I never knew, but it really is delicious. Goodness, excuse me. It's like a Moscato in that. Let's see. So Joanne is more hands-on. Not one bottle, not two, not three. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see Sophie and I are listening to what's being said. Joanne's at the table, in her right hand, if you look, she's got a 5th bottle. You can see the outline here. She got caught with the picture, so number 1. Ça va! She's having a good time, it's going well. Yeah. 5 bottles. We were like, well, wait a minute, how many bottles do you have at that table? Just 1 for me. No, miss, you got 5 bottles over there.
We sampled. We got to sample several different kinds, and I have to say, before we left the United States, I said, I am bringing home wine for my family. I'm going to get a case of wine, and I'm going to ship it back to the United States so we don't have to mess with it.
What did I say, though?
This was he said, you buy it, you carry it.
You buy it,
well,
you're
I'm not
carrying
going to carry it because I'm going to ship it back. UPS,
More than that.
whatever. At my daughter's address, we are all set, so it's going to go to Omaha to her place. This is such a small winery, I said, and we can have this shipped because Deb and I talked, and boy, she went 4 bottles, I went 4 or 6, you know. He had no idea what we were talking about, UPS and all that. No.
I literally raised Cain with them. I'm like, do not buy anything you have to carry because this is day 2 of our trip. We have 11 days. I'm not carrying any extra weight you bring. That's my disclaimer.
So, we had to downsize, and I bought 4 bottles of wine. Deb bought 3. Michael bought 3. And the man packed it so neatly in these little white boxes, and they all looked the same. Deb, in her wisdom, kept hers. She knew which one was hers. Michael
kept
and
hers
I
close.
didn't. So all the rest of these 10 more days, we're carting this wine all over France, all over Zurich, all over. And we get home, and I open my box up, and gee, I only have 3 bottles of wine. So I called Michael, and I said, Michael, do you have my wine? He said, no, I have my 4 bottles. I said, okay. I called Deb. I said, you got your 3 bottles, right? And she said, yeah. I said, I kind of thought that. 3 hours later, Michael calls me and said, I think I have your wine. I said, yeah, I think you do. And Michael, bless his
I
little
had
heart.
carried that flippin' wine all 11 days, unloading, unpacking, packing it back in, on top of my nice clothes.
He said, it's so long.
So I yeah, that's what I get for running my mouth. You shouldn't have said a dang thing, but yeah, I think personally she did that bait and switch garbage on me.
No.
This is your wine.
No.
Okay, I'm like, but it's heavy. No, it's yours, so I took it.
I
shouldn't have
took the
said a
one
word.
that was left.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
no, we're good. Strasbourg is the oldest and largest Christmas market on the world. It's on the German border on the French side. It's been going on since 1450s. And all of the stalls at the market are from the surrounding countries. There's no made in China. We did have an incident with made in China, but I made sure we remedy that. It's nothing personal against China. It's just a nice opportunity to buy something that says made in Germany, made in Luxembourg, made in France. So this is us going into the Christmas market at Strasbourg. And this is Joanne at the largest Christmas market in Strasbourg because they serve hot wine all over the place. Certainly didn't miss an opportunity.
So cold. This is all you can do. The hot wine kept your hands
Deb's got a
warm.
glass.
And then you drank some, and then you were warm inside, and you carried it around.
Warm and
That's
fuzzy.
fun. You'll see several of these pictures.
So they told us a story about this Christmas tree, which here I don't think it would work out. And Deb, I think you actually know the whole story
Yeah,
about.
you know the story, yes. This is a great big live Christmas tree in the big Strasbourg market. And they put the first tree up, and I guess it was, did the wind blew that one over? Maybe
I
it
think,
broke the
yeah,
top off.
yeah.
Well, it's 50,000 euros per tree that they put up. So
About
they-
$67,000 per tree.
Was it 67?
Well, 50,000 euros is
Oh, roughly
equal to, yeah.
$67,000, right. So the next tree they put up, they realized it was crooked. So they had to put that tree down. The 3rd tree they finally put up, and this is what they got. But each time it cost about 50,000 euros for that city.
I'm like, look, man, for that kind of money, just leave it there. I'm sure, we'll just lower the camera, cut the top off. All good. No, the Christmas market was really neat. Unique features about Strasbourg. If you ever think about doing some twilight travel in your retirement, skip Paris and go to some of these outlying cities where it's very personable. They don't look at Americans and think, like they're Parisians, they consider arrogant, donkeys. I won't say jackasses because that's rude. But, same thing with Americans that we say, oh, those French are arrogant. Well, Americans are. It doesn't matter. Here, people don't care. Have a good time. Have some hot wine. Enjoy yourself. And really, you can kill 3 or 4 days in these markets. Beautiful things to look at. Lots of fun. Take friends with you. That don't listen.
we sign up.
Yeah, that don't listen. Like 2 children. This is why I don't have... Never mind. Strasbourg has its own Notre Dame, which most people don't know, that the only other Notre Dame, of course, is in Paris. The original Notre Dame, what have you, is dated from the 11th century. This particular Notre Dame, and you can see some of the architecture, phenomenal. Catholic Church, if you really have something, if you're deeply Catholic, you'll want to visit something like this because it really is breathtaking. You walk in and you're just kind of overwhelmed. I'm not, but it was still a treat and an honor to walk into the church and take in some of the things that are there. And you really do get, a certain feeling. You walk in and you're kind of just like, wow, okay, let me humble myself and come inside and see. I'll go to the next. Those are 11th century tapestries. So And when you're walking around David City and you see things, or you go to the church, we have a beautiful church here. Some areas is really, since the renovation, is also amazing. But to walk in and be able to touch things from our past as a person, you get a different feeling. It'd be like walking up and touching the stones on the Egyptian pyramids. So these tapestries, the colors and everything, are original. So I don't know if it's Sherwin-Williams or Ace Hardware. Back then, maybe they had an Ace Hardware in the local market. I don't know. But everything's original. The stained glass windows are mind-blowing. The colors, and it's just, 11th century. How, what artisans were around and how long did it take to accomplish these feats. So really beautiful. I did tell Joanna and Emily, this isn't if you touch it, break it, you bought it. This is if you touch it or you break it, the police come and you go to jail, and I pretend I don't know you. Side of the church, just a note for, as much as we're laughing, I also want to point out some historical things. You see these arches here on the sides of the building? So like the Notre Dame in France, the top of the church, where the windows are, was too heavy, and it was starting to crack the stonework up top, and it would eventually have collapsed the roof in. And so they put these up, they call them flying buttresses, and what they do is they pull weight against the weight pushing in so that it would not collapse. So just some interesting features. And you can walk up here, you just have to wait, but you can go up all the way up and get some beautiful views of the city. One of the most unique features about this church, this is a handmade 80-foot wooden clock from the 16th century. This is an automaton clock, 18th century, I'm sorry. It is the passing of the saints before Christ at the top, and then the passing of time for death. So this is actually a skeleton with some drums and things, and then we have the automation, and it's just an amazing thing to watch. It's a really neat clock, very beautiful, very unique, and it was done by a 26-year-old. They have the paper there, yes. So it's really kind of neat to walk in. At 12:30 every day you can watch the movements. There is a fence, thank God. Because when we get to Zurich, I'm going to show you a picture where I specifically said, there's a glass wall around that for a reason. Don't touch. Please don't, do this over the glass. So, anyway, I was happy there was a gate that was very high, taller than Deb and Joanne, because I was afraid that it was going to be one of these. You just can't get to the damn thing. Joanne, see if that gate's open over there. Where's Michael? Where's... Oh. Just taking pictures. No, they wore me out. When you see some of the other stuff that has gone on, bless their heart. Beautiful stained glass. So
that's beautiful.
there's something to be said for a person who, I'm sorry, I flipped it back. The stained glass who does that. I cannot fathom how many thousands of pieces it takes to make this and then put it into place if you're talking that many years ago. I mean, I have trouble. I don't even like doing construction. I work in technology. I had to move my mom's closet wall, and I just thought I had splinters, and you can see my hands if you look closely. They're all carved up. I'm like, look, is there somebody who will come do this for $100 or $200? So I can't fathom this. I would have been cut to pieces if I just took them in a box. And there you go. Strasbourg Christmas Market. All building. Colmar, I'm sorry, Colmar Christmas. I never realized that Joanna sat on the ground here. I don't know. I looked at the photo. I'm like, oh my God, she is sitting on the ground. So I don't know why they were pouting. What?
After all that wine. You guys know me.
We've been trying to be nice and not say the word alcoholic. I know I'm having some wine, but trust me, they had my act beat, and I bartended. So, nice Como market, Christmas market. I don't know who this person is actually that's sitting here. Beautiful town square, beautiful place to walk, wonderful people in town. Everybody was very nice to us. No drama, not yet. Actually, I'm sorry, here. Some beautiful buildings on the walk. It's all cobblestones. It's really nice to walk around there and just some things to see and everything. And thank God it was very quiet. Joanna and Deb didn't give me any trouble. We were all tired, and I'm like, don't push. I said, I was laughing because I just kept thinking, like, oh my God, what is it like if you actually had kids? I have, 7 nephews and nieces, and I just never have had kids of my own. It's fine, whatever. But I cannot fathom a full 8 hours with a younger person, like a teenager. I think I would just probably go nuts. Like, no, just go away. Just go. Here's money. Go. This is where we stayed. I wanted to make sure you show this. In this yellow building was this very lovely lady, probably 80s, maybe 70s. Very charming French woman. It was raining when we got there. There she is, actually, hiding behind a plant. And she invited us into the garage. She yelled at her grandson to get out. She said, let the Americans come in. Very sweet lady. And, oh, whoops. I was going to talk about her because there's supposed to be a picture of her there, and it's not. It's the bathroom. So anyway, this is a really nice bathroom. We have a shower, soaps, and lotion, just in case you happen to be curious. I think we got off the beaten path. There she is. Okay. Lovely lady, a real treat, to have met her and talked to her. And she didn't speak any English, but that was okay because then I could talk about Deb and Joanne behind their back.
She was just a sweet little lady. In the morning, she would open up her shutters and she would say, bye, have a good day, or whatever she said in French. She'd kiss our cheeks.
So she thought I was with one of these girls. I'm a rich widow and have a nice home. I'm dating the skinny one. So she tried to get a kiss, and I thought, should I? Because it probably will lead to trouble, or should I just pull away while I'm sitting? I let her give me a kiss on the cheek, and then she wanted a kiss on the other cheek, which is typical French, but I had to debate now. Does she want the second kiss because she wants to confirm the first? And Deb and Joanne were of no help whatsoever. When you want to be saved, like you're on that date and you want out of that date, doesn't a friend usually call and, oh, I have to go. She's having a baby. She's 71, but she's having a baby. I have to go. They're busy taking pictures, which they did throughout the trip. I am having an espresso, which is a very tiny cup of coffee. I love them, I sip them, and I'm good. Joanne and Deb walked up, they got a cup of coffee, it was about half full, and they pitched a fit. Is that it? That's coffee in France. They don't have any 24-ounce big cups. They don't do, the 42-ounce and come and refill it like up at the station north of town. That's just not the way they do things. I was looking for the toilet, and if you notice, the sign right here says toilets behind me. So they knew that when they took the damn picture and didn't say a word. And I hadn't even raised Cain with them yet, so I was a little upset. Yeah. We met a lovely musician. Deb had the camera, so the camera's sideways. I don't know if she had been drinking, Joanne had been drinking, or both of them had been drinking, or they just didn't know how to hold the camera. Whoops, sorry, I was going to let you hear some of his music, if I can find my mouse. Oh, blah. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. We messed our slides here, so... It was a nice tune to have, right? And number 1, Savage! Yeah. Wasn't that nice? And I gave him $5 without even realizing it. I had some euros, and I'm like, here you go. And then we were talking after, I'm like, oh my God, I think I just gave him like $5. We need to get a whole minute of his music, not 30 seconds. Very nice guy, very cool person. We'll go to the next. So this is some of the villages behind us. These are the original buildings from the 17th century. So if you were there in 1710, 1724, that's it. That's what they look like. That's the real life. So that's kind of a neat thing to be able to go technically back in time and say, hey, beautiful market, really a neat place. And Joanne, after the music stopped, of course, was drinking. And no, that's not the same picture. She wants you to believe that's the same picture. Joanne, you want to talk about that Christmas dolls?
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Did you want to talk about the Christmas dolls?
Well, they were beautiful. We had fun, lots of ornaments, food we weren't used to seeing. the cutest little bakery things. It was really cool. And they had hot mulled wine for when your hands were too numb to touch anything anymore.
A lot of the stuff you're looking at, Joanne can tell you, is handmade. Literally.
Yes.
The artist has pictures of themselves there, or they're there with their work saying, no, I carved this from wood, I hand painted this.
Homemade soaps.
Soaps, yeah, soaps were
homemade
big.
candles.
Lots of really neat things that, you know, you can't just go in town and get something that's handmade unless you get Deb's kolaches or Jackie's cookies. I'm sure trying to plug as many people as I can. If you want a homemade library, you have to come see Katie. Okay, again, the market, really beautiful. There's actually a canal here. This is actually called Petite Venise, and in French it means Little Venice. So you can actually take a gondola ride through the canals and the street, which is really kind of neat because it's too far from Venice. And I bring that up because Joanne was saying, well, while we're in France, can we go here? Can we go here? What about Italy? I'm like, whoa! Get a map, because France is here. Italy. Rome, and then Venice. Overnight by train, 2 days.
Michael said, hey Joanne, we have 2 days that we don't have anything planned. Where would you like to go? So of course I said, well, let's go to Italy. And that's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
And then we settled on Zurich, Switzerland. Good
Yeah,
choice.
what a plus.
Uh-oh.
Please, Deb and Joanne, do not take pictures of the security here, because in this country there is a real terrorist threat. At any point, literally, in this country, we're going to be bombed, shot, stabbed by some idiot walking around. They had just had a stabbing in Marseille, and there were some personal concerns between the three of us of, you know, what do we do if we're at the train station, which is a guy walked up at the train station and stabbed 2 women to death in Marseille, just standing there. So we had literal concerns. So France was on high alert. I had specifically said, they have a very strict rule, don't take pictures of the security because they might be under the impression you're trying to figure out how they're guarding, what the routine is of the patrols, and that kind of thing, and that you might be a terrorist.
In my defense,
Okay, what we did, I said, okay,
And
Dad,
this was the same that they did when I complained.
I'll stand here, you take my picture. And then I kind of moved a little to the side and took the picture. Because how often are we going to see this walking down the street? Honestly, would you not have done that?
Notice how she's
He
trying to
doesn't
draw you all in.
Doesn't understand.
Number 2. That's like number 1. It's like going to the bathroom. 1 savant, 2 savant. Yeah, so
Anyway,
they took the picture and they literally did what you just heard.
we did.
Deb went, and I was like, what are you doing? I saw the picture, like, I told you not to take any pictures of the security.
We did know we
So,
were taking.
as we go forward from here, please watch what happens, because it doesn't stop here. Then, we run into a serious problem in Paris, and I walked away.
It wasn't serious. It was not serious.
Just a quick shot of the picture here. I don't know who this fat guy is with the beard stuff in his face, but I thought it was cute. Yeah. Wait till we get to Zurich, and you hear about the Muslims in the restaurant, and we're not going in there, and
look at the decorations on top of these buildings.
Oh, sorry.
All the
That's what
buildings
we
do
took
that.
pictures of.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the buildings.
it really is interesting to go there and see, and, you know, some people might be like, God, that's boring, I don't want to stare at Christmas pictures. Well, that's fine, there's lots of pretty girls and whatever around, you can go look at them. Unless you're a woman, then you can take pictures of the armed security guards, who are also walking around.
What does that brassiere mean?
Brassiere? She would hit me with that. It's not brassieres,
I know.
it's a shop of clothes and collectibles.
Okay.
So, ooh, good question.
Interesting.
Normally I would have just been, Deb made a joke and Joanne hinted at the joke that as the longer we stayed in France and the more I was talking French, I suddenly started going, yeah, well, you can go there, Joanne, I don't care. My accent.
Yeah, we don't understand him anymore.
Yeah, it happened when I went to Georgia. I was there for a couple years in college, and by like the second year, I was like, how are y'all? Is your mama all right? Good to see you. Welcome to Georgia. Joanne's favorite spot, she was picking glasses for her next adventure. I don't know, maybe they're pop glasses. They're for pop. My espresso and Joanne, they ordered a cup of coffee. This isn't drank half full. This is how they filled it half because they were saying something about not getting a big cup, so the girl gave her a big cup and then still poured.
No, we ordered the Grand Latte, thinking we're getting a big
French
cup.
in Grand. Grand anyway is big, but in French it literally means gigantic big. So, but yeah, she put half of there. She goes, there you are. Merry Christmas.
No refills, the little cups, you feel like you're having a tea party.
I love espressos, so it's all good. Now, any shop you go to, this is something that I think is rather unique to here in New York City, that kind of phenomenal looking desserts, works of art, beautiful names, you know, tarte cerise, tarte citron, which is citron is lemon, meringue, tarte à la meringue, and tarte cookies, so tarte cookies and things, tarte d'orange, orange flavor, and I mean, just beautiful desserts. But this is not at some fancy bakery, this is just at a local coffee shop. Some really, I have to say the French do knock it out of the park when it comes to making beautiful, artsy looking things that you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I should eat it or put it in the window. Or spray it with some paint and leave it for guests when they come over, like, look at that. Again, the Christmas market, beautiful decorations, it's lovely to walk around there, especially if you've got hot wine. This is just a regular bakery, but I mean, you know, if you're looking at the artwork down here, please. This is not done by machine. This is not created in a single slab. They've got girls, and we went to Grimmer's, where they're back there, so none of them are ever the same. They're all individualized, all different, and you can see some of the phenomenal desserts. Boy, they're good too, but they're expensive. I think $40 for a box like that. But we went to a particular chef, and he's the son of the owner, and he draws on paper what dessert he wants to create, then creates the recipe, and there it goes. Again, the beautiful Market Square. We're going to move forward here. Deb took lots of pictures of Deb. I've never seen someone so many times go. Even at the museum with the Mona Lisa. She was at some kind of party or something with her girlfriend. We went to my friend's house, Sophie. They're, again, rather unique. This is their house. They have glass in their floors. This is literally looking into the garage from the hall. I don't know why, it's just something they do there. So throughout her house, including the bedrooms, not the bathrooms, but including the bedrooms, there are big as about half the size of this table. You can walk on them, glass looking through the floors all the way from the roof. So from the roof to the first floor, or to the third floor, second floor, first floor, and into the garage. It was cool to do it.
It's weird to walk on it though.
Yeah, it was scary.
So the one picture, I go, hey, you should pose. Sticking her tongue at me, Joanne making a face. Nobody could just be polite and go. You know, it's always got to be something. And Deb's phone, of course, is on because she's going to do a selfie with the glass. So lots of fun. They have a funny thing here about the walls, because these walls in these houses connect with other houses. And so there's actually a symbol on the wall in France that tells them it's either their wall and their responsibility to fix it, or it's the neighbor's wall, even though that is an interior wall to your house. Yeah, so they actually...
It's like engraved. Like.
It's in the stonework. There was a triangle and a marker, and that told Raphael and Sophie that was their wall. If it collapsed, if it had damage, if there was water or something, it's their responsibility to fix it, regardless of it being on that other person's side. Something funny in France, I don't quite get it, but okay. We went ice skating. I had the 40-centimeter shoes, which killed my feet. They gave me the 43s. They hurt worse. They went to the 48s, and the Frenchman at the door, at the window said, that's as big as we have. How big are your feet? Just shut the heck up and give me the damn shoes. So I went out and stood. I'm in tears actually, though I'm smiling. They hurt. We were trying, I could ice skate. I couldn't ice skate to save my life, and Sophie's son, Paul, came up behind me and was pushing me. Not at my age. I have to take a nap to get ready for bed, and this just did not help my condition. But Deb was having a good time. Mulled wine, a shot of Jaeger. She was out there doing twists and turns and.
That was not me. I was.
What do you mean that's you right there?
I'm not gliding along. I'm creeping along.
You sound like somebody who's committed a crime. I know that's not me in the picture. That's not me. I don't know who that is. It's not me. That's Deb. Sticking her tongue out again. And of course, the man behind her said, "What's with the American?" Deb taking pictures on the carousel of Deb. Number 2, Sava. I didn't get a Sava over here. Sava, yeah, join or I'll start speaking just like. Where everybody knows Joanne's name, friends. That is the same picture from the other. That's all right. Yeah. Because I got tired of taking. Oh. I was so mad. I'm sitting in a chair listening to Sophie's daughter play the harp. Very quiet, enjoying myself. I went to lean forward to congratulate her, and the chair slid out from under me. Deb gets up and goes, "Don't move." In French, I said something which I will not repeat. Well, do I look like I need help? I have fallen and I cannot get up. Oh, isn't that the... I had a med alert moment. Yeah, I fell and she got up, she's like, "Don't move." And she took a picture and I'm like, what the hell kind of friend are you? Take a picture, I've fallen, I broke my behind. After the picture. Joanne didn't get up at all. She just looked at me and goes, "Are you okay?" No, I'm not. You will never travel with me again. We're just getting warmed up to what went on. We met a girl. This American heard me talking, came up and said, "Are you American?" If I'm speaking English the way I'm talking now, probably American. Decides to start chatting with us. At that moment, I said, "Isn't it interesting that she happened to show up at this moment?" Whoops, I missed the picture. Let me go back. So, it turns out in particular, I actually had to leave Deb and Joanne on their own so I could go hang out with my friend. Sophie wanted some private time so we could go have lunch and that. And I was going to leave them with a map and just say, "You'll be fine, just don't get lost." They didn't have any phone service. So, be back here at such and such. It was like talking to a 13-year-old. "Mommy's leaving now. When I get back, you need to be here. Not at 2:15, not at 2:20. 2 o'clock. Let's all look at our watches, the big hand." Well, seriously, that's what I was getting. I was like, I'm feeling like I have to be, Daddy said. So, Amy happened to show up, and I did literally say, "Good, I'll let Amy," I said, "Amy will take them around, you can show them around." Amy had a phone, she said, "I'll text you, you don't have to, you can keep them." Very sweet, she offered to take them off my hands, and I'm like... So, anyway, after the fall, I've got these backwards, and I'm sorry, but after the fall, I was at my friend's house, and we sat down and like, just get the 2 women away from me. Get away, if I fall again, and they take pictures, I'm liable to kick somebody. Part of the market we went to for food, I laugh at Deb and Joanne because there were pigs with heads on them. We're from Nebraska. We have pigs. We have pig farms. We slaughter pigs. We don't know anything about it. They got all worked up, and oh my God, look what they do to them! And they're taking pictures. pictures.
That way.
You don't cook them with a head.
With the head.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can I back up to Amy?
Yes, of course. Hang on.
Amy was from New York. She was 29 years old, traveling by herself. She was going to meet her dad eventually in Ireland, but she was going to several countries by herself, which amazed me because she didn't even speak the language there, totally on her own. So when we met up with her, she was very happy to see Americans. And so I am still in touch with her. I think Joanne is too. We still email back and forth and say we should go on a trip someday. So. Very brave young lady.
we had a lot of fun with Amy.
Yeah, go ahead. Go on a trip with Amy. Amy told her dad lives in Ireland, and she goes, "You should go on a trip." And I started laughing, and I walked off. I'm like, "Good luck." Yeah. So here's some chickens and goose and stuff with their heads and their wings and everything, and their feet. And they got all their feet are still on them.
Yeah.
Yeah? We're from Nebraska. Why are you getting all worked up about this? We'll go to Hormel's. We can spend all day looking at feet being chopped off in Fremont. They took more. I won't go there. I'll stop right now. I was almost said it. I'll wait. Oh, this was a really cool toilet. You open the lid, you sit, and there's this colander thing. You have to open the lid, do your business, you close the lid, and then it spins around and gets rid of it. That was until I realized it doubled as a washing machine. Honestly, it was in the flippin' bathroom. Sink. I thought maybe it was just a unique toilet. So a little tough to sit on, but it worked out.
Literally, it's small enough. You put in about 3 items of clothing, and that's it.
Items means like a blouse, underwear. You couldn't. I don't think we got jeans in
You
that.
put a pair of jeans
I
in,
did.
that was it.
Yeah.
One pair of jeans.
And it took over an hour.
I don't think we
Lavage
got
in
a word
French
there.
is wash, so I kept going like lavage, linear, 1 hour, okay, set. 2 hours later. Like, drain, stop lavage. Enough. Oh. You already know. Devin Strasberg, she took lots of pictures of herself. She did take some pictures of us, like when I fell out of the chair. So my friend says, she said, "I know you're coming on Saturday, I want to go to the book fair." Okay, most of us think of a book fair, like here at the library, come in, there's books all over, you just buy one and go. We didn't really grasp the depth of what she meant when we went to this book fair. We pull up, and it is what's the center in Omaha?
Buses and
The concert center, I don't know what they call the lead center or whatever. Oh my gosh, we pull up, there's thousands of cars, people, and I'm like, what kind of book fair is this? And they have an orchestra playing. When we walk in, Joanne mentioned she wants to get a Harry Potter book. Oh, Joanne at the book fair. Pictures are worth 1,000 words.
I have to explain.
Your story, Joanne. How
I asked my grandchildren, what would you like from Paris? What would you like from on this trip? Brooklyn's a 7th grader, and she's taking French. And she said, I would love a Harry Potter book in French. Okay, I'm going to France. How hard can that be? So, and Mia wanted a cap, and Evan wanted a football shirt. Okay, so I have the 3 things I need to get. We're going to a book fair. I'm thinking children's book fair, just like the library has. How easy is that going to be? We get there, and it's huge, absolutely huge. We're walking around, and Michael's walking with Sophie and her children, and Deb and I are kind of walking around, and we see old books, and we see all these guys with all these books in the middle. So I walk up to this guy, and I say, do you have any Harry Potter books? And he kind of looked at me, and no, he didn't. Then we find out these are French authors. Famous French authors that are there.
Actually, some national
Like Michael.
European New York bestseller authors, and Joanne walked up and
With
said,
their
Harry
books.
Potter?
And I'm an English author. I'm going, hey, you have any Harry Potter books?
The guy just
And
looked
he
like
told me no.
you Americans.
So we're walking around, and we finally figure out what this is all about. Oh, okay, I really put my foot in my mouth. Well, Sophie's son came over to us, and Paul doesn't speak English, but, I mean, we can understand each other. He said, Harry Potter. And we went over there with a whole series of Harry Potter books. I got the number one, exactly what Brooklyn wanted, in French. She was thrilled.
She gave the guy hit because it wasn't in English. I'm like, we're in France.
No, she wanted it in French. And we got it, and we only really screwed up with one author. These were crazy.
Yeah, if you want to be the obnoxious American, it'd be like me selling my books. You walk up and go, "Do you have any J.K. Rowling?" "No, I don't. I have my books." What the hell would I have J.K. Rowling for? I got my books I'm trying to sell. No, please.
No idea.
In French, let me be clear. Voila. Take your butt and get the heck on down the road.
Yeah, but we had
But she
no
got the book.
idea what kind of book fair this was, but we found out.
How much did it cost you, Joanne?
What? $23, 23 euros, something like that. So pretty much what I put it in here.
It's the extra €6 for the trouble.
From the author that
All these
said-
authors looking at each other going, yes, she just did ask me. Because they're in stalls, and, you know,
There's books
I'm not as
all
famous as
over.
any of them. I write, but I don't write at the level that these guys are at. I mean, you know, these are literally some New York bestsellers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it comes almost as an insult to actually ask that. If she asked, like, do you have any Stephen King, we might have got by. To ask you something like, you got any Harry Potter? Oh, these are your books. Sorry. But Joanne got her book. She was good
You
to
know
go.
what? I never saw him again in my life. He'll never see me again. I'm not
Number 2.
sorry.
She's so happy in all her pictures.
She was having fun.
Yeah, she did have a good time. Let me tell you what, we're not even there. Rimmer, the cheesy and chocolate place we went to. What a neat place. Let's get a picture inside here. So you've already seen some of the gourmet chocolates. I'm sorry this is a repeat photo, but I think I have another one here. Yeah. So cakes, pies, and tarts on top. All girls in the back, guys in the back, working hard, making these desserts. On this end, though, all hard liquor. Up to an ounce in each of the chocolates. So Jack Daniels, Amaretto, I think was in some bourbons, some vodkas. And you really, when you bit into it, I mean, you could have poured out the liquor. So we bought Joanne some. She was thirsty. Here's a picture from earlier, and I apologize, this should have been in one of the things, but Amy, I was able to offer an opportunity for Joanne and Deb to join Amy's cultural exchange program from New York. No, it's just those two, but watch out, they don't listen very well. Amy said, those kids, and I'm like, no, those two.
Amy loved us, and we loved her. We had so much fun with her.
I was
There she
happy.
is.
Yeah, they stopped and had pizza, so it was very good.
If it was not really.
I know, don't think, Zurich, you're going to see how my face when we go to eat at a particular place that I said, do not even ask me. Do not ask me, don't mention it, don't point it out. I don't want, not here. If we're in Omaha and you go, oh look, at that restaurant. Okay, fine. But not in Europe. I don't want to go for Chinese in Europe. I don't want you to go, look, there's Latinos, Mexican. No!
There really wasn't
Oh.
pizza. Look like but it is.
What do you see in La Photo that and this is, this is not the same picture because one of the guards is black. It's somebody else that I had just said, please stop taking pictures.
That was posing.
Joanne Deb, I said, please stop taking pictures of the armed security forces.
Why do you look at them? I was looking at the beautiful colors in those buildings up there.
They were just walking by.
It doesn't end here.
No, it doesn't.
Our train to France, something you should know about French trains. They're very long. European travel is very train-like. You get on a train, you want to go somewhere. It's not typical to take a car. When you get off the train, you need to get off the train and move away from the doors. I'm just throwing that out there. All right, ready to get off the train. This is a routine we're having to go through because we travel on trams, subways, buses, high-speed rail over 200 miles an hour, regional trains like the one you just saw about 80 miles an hour. But when the doors open, get the hell off. Excuse me for my French. All luggage in hand, at or near exit door. Bell rings, politely asked you, do not stop at door, Joanne.
And you stopped because there were 5 other people here, so being the polite person I am and not shoving, I stopped. Michael's behind me going, move it, move it, move it!
That's not totally correct. The train stopped on the TGV. There's probably 300 passengers. In our particular car, there's probably 80 because it's a double-decker. So we're down there with our bags. I say, okay, when we get off, we get off. Joanne walks out of the train. She walks out, she goes, where you're at is the door with the 85 to 150 people trying to come out. I'm like, go! Move! What are you doing? Go! Get out of the damn way! Well, what are you yelling at me for? I was just seeing if we're getting off. We're off the train! Why would you stop? And then she made a face and I thought, oh God, here we go. I got the grandma look. Why are you yelling at me?
No,
And Deb said, why are you, he goes, why are you yelling at Joanne? Because she's standing in the way. We can't get, I got 280 people behind me trying, they want me to slap. So I take her and we moved you to the concrete pole. There was a concrete beam. I literally moved, I go, stay here. Nobody will hurt you here. You are safe here. Because there's a concrete pole there and they'd have to walk into the pole to get to you. We'll get our bags.
don't believe everything. I did stop, but I
It's like being,
stopped.
those of you who remembered Abbott and Costello,
I did stop.
if you don't know Abbott and Costello, I have all of the movies in my house. Get a call, make a digital copy and you can watch. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and Count Dracula. Basel, Switzerland, yay! Sama! Yeah, wrong city. We're not supposed to be here. This is the wrong place. We're supposed to be in Zurich, Switzerland. And as you know, we're in the wrong damn city. And we are, literally. Because in the process of ushering them off the train, and I am not blaming them, there was a bag that got caught under the table. I got the bag, got them off the train. We went and stood. I'm sorry, I was getting pretty militant by that point. I'm like, stay here. Do not move from this spot. If you move, I will tell everybody you're terrorists. Just, I don't want to hear you drink coffee, you have to pee, just stay here. Deb goes, Mike, where's your laptop bag? Oh, yes. With the tickets to the Louvre, with the tickets to the Eiffel Tower, with our tickets to our dinner on the Vatsamouche on the flying boat, with my cash, with my tablet, with the keys to my car, with our itinerary, our reservations, and my money is on the train going to Basel, Switzerland. Because I helped somebody get their bag. I was being a good Samaritan. Until I found out I lost my bag. And then I got upset. So I said to them, I know it's cold, do not get on the train that pulls up here. Even though that's when we're supposed to get on, do not get on it. I'm going to go talk to the chief of the operations. I will find out what we need to do. Do not move. Do not pass go. Stay right here. Literally, please, do not move. This is a huge train station, and we pronounce it in French Mulhouse, but it's Mulhouse. So they're at the Mulhouse station. It's very cold. I didn't think about that because I was like, we've got to have that bag. That train is on its way to Basel, Switzerland, which is not even close to where we're going. Go to the chief of operations. I speak pretty good French, but to explain particulars, not so much. But obviously we're able to talk. The chief of the operations is very nice. I'll call ahead. They'll check the train, see if the bag's on there. We'll get it out. I'm sitting there, and every 20 minutes, like a mom watching the kids in the car.
Then
Then I realize I'm going 5 minutes, right? And Joanne's going, 10? No, 5! No. Just stay there. I go back, talk to the chief of the operations. No bag. They've inspected the train, it's not there. Now I'm getting sick because it was over $400 in cash. American cash, I could care less. It was my American cash was in that bag. My tablet with my passwords to my bank accounts and lots of other stuff. So it was a big deal. He comes back, he goes, I come back out, they're there, they're frozen. The train has come and gone that we're supposed to be on, and we specifically bought First class tickets on that train because of the service, because it was going to be a very unique experience traveling to the Swiss Alps in this TGV Lariat train. Now we find out we've got to take a regional train, which is like riding a bus, after all we spent for the first class trip, to Basel, Switzerland, to see if they have my bag there. So I come out, and apparently, even though I said stay right there,
We did.
they were taking closet breaks in the janitor's closet to get warm. They were going into some room with a metal door and hiding in there. And I'm like,
No,
didn't you go into that
one
one?
at a time.
Would-
One stayed outside,
Keeping a watch for me.
washing the suitcases, and
So-
the other one came.
When I come over there, I am not in, forgive me, I obviously I was worried about my bag. Not in good spirits. We're waiting. We have a train coming, which we're going to take to another city. We're already a couple hours delayed now. Going to go to Basel. We're going to have to figure it all out as we go. We only have 3 days in Switzerland, so this is now biting into our time, and I'm starting to stress and thought, okay, whatever. So the train is coming to go take us to Basel. The chief of the operations, that's what they call him, chef d'operations, is coming. He comes over. He says, listen, the train that you were on is actually coming back from Basel, Switzerland. It's going to be here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to hold that train. I said, okay, but what about the train we're supposed to get on? He goes, I'm going to hold that one too. And I just kind of thought, are you high? This is not, Amtrak. I mean, you're talking about a train that travels between France and Switzerland. They don't carry 10 or 15 people. There's 200 or 300 people on the thing. And I'm thinking, I don't want them looking out the window and going, "Oh, les Américains!" Pointing us out. It's like, no, someone should talk to Joanne. So he did. The train pulled in first. That was going to Basel, Switzerland. I'm like, oh my gosh, the train's pulled in from Basel to go to Basel. Here we are waiting. The train comes in from Basel, stops. He says, you go that way, I'll go this way. Try to find your bag. You've got 3 minutes. I go that way. He goes this way. I'm pushing people. Excuse me. Get down the train. Boom. I can see my strap hanging. I run up, and these girls sitting there start lining your bag. Yes. Did you take anything out of it? No. Okay. We got the bag. But then we all got on the train to Basel, Switzerland. When we got to Basel, then we had to figure out how to get to Zurich. And however you want to say it, an act of God, a good Christian thing, everybody, it happened in seconds. We talked to the ticket agent. He said, go to the track there, get yourself a sandwich. The train leaves in 12 minutes. I go, what do we tell the conductor? He goes, just tell him what happened. We go to the conductor. We said, blah, 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 blah. He goes, no, shh. Do you have tickets? Yeah, we have tickets here. Okay, get on. But this isn't our train. Get on. So we had kind of a humbling number 2, ça va. So we were still like, are you going to arrest us? I said, I didn't want to push, and I go, well, we were in first class. Okay, go sit in first class. Oh, all right. Are you going to do something? I just was waiting for the wall to cave in. And we got on the train, and it was a happy ending, and off we went to Zurich. Yay! After all the drama. All right, number 1, Sava! It's going. Oh, this is Deb and Joanne. They wandered off in the Zurich train station. They walked in, they had a Christmas market. The first things out of their mouth were, can you stay here and let us go look around? You know what, I'm not stressed anymore. I feel great. I could pass out right now from the exhaustion, but yeah, sure, go have a look. And then these two showed up, I'm like, oh, they're back. So, yeah, really neat things at the Christmas market there. So here's something about do not touch. This, and you can see right here, Swarovski crystals are have covered this tree of Swarovski crystals. Over $1 million. And then there's a Swarovski shop where you can buy Christmas ornaments, which I couldn't afford. So this is just a picture, but this, you can't see it very well, but there's actually a glass, and this is the rim of it. All around it. Obviously, because they don't want people walk up and take the things off of there. Notice the close-up. I said, do not touch, do not reach your camera over. How close do you think you have to get that crystal picture?
You gotta zoom on your camera.
Yeah, I got your zoom. She went up there when I walked away and put her camera, you know, a couple inches from the tree. That's my picture. Notice the distance. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to be breaking the rules. This is where things get weird. We just walked out of that train station. I am so exhausted from this whole affair with my bag loss and getting on the wrong train in the wrong city, getting back to Zurich. Joanne is thirsty. She wants some alcohol. So listen to what is going on. This is a video. So there can be no debate about what really happened. There can be no debate about what was said behind me as I was pushed in front of the ambulance.
Oh, Michael.
Go where? Go, Michael, go where? There's a tram. There are cars. There's an ambulance coming. People are beeping and honking. Go, Michael. And my thing was, go where? Can you not hear? You know, I didn't know what to. I was like, Joanne, take your earmuffs off.
Okay, you have to explain.
That's right. There's an explanation for her saying,
They
go, Michael.
stop for you. You walk right across the street and those cars stop, and they stop immediately.
There's
They
a very,
do.
yeah, there's a very short
And
amount of
so we
switching.
had
If you're in a
crossed 2 or
crosswalk,
3
they have to
times.
stop.
The ambulance
The
was
ambulance.
way down, way
Wait a
down there. You
I'll turn
couldn't
it down.
see it. And I said, go on, Mike. Oh, we get across here.
Yeah, that ambulance is way down there. Notice the blue lights reflecting off of everything. That ambulance is miles away. Yeah, the siren should be enough. Yeah. Or the tram that's in front of us, or the passing cars that are in front of us.
They're supposed to wait. They do wait for you.
Like the guy said in French, Les Américains! They want us to stop for them to cross the street.
No, they
Beautiful picture of Lake Zurich in the city street. Really a very pretty city. Very, if you don't have any money, go to Zurich. Everybody has money. I mean, and we're not talking about $10 or $15. There's billionaires in this town. My family were talking about a particular car you don't see very often. It's called a Maybach manufacturer, and they're extremely rare. We saw a Maybach in the parking lot that dropped off this beautiful gal, probably in her 20s, beautiful brunette, gets out of the car with the driver. He lets her out. She runs into a jewelry store. They drove up to the doors. I thought, oh my gosh, nice, jealous. So we were staying at Uranusstrasse, which should have been a big red flag. That our apartment happened to be on Uranusstrasse. I don't know what it means in German. I don't speak enough German. I only know Wo ist das Toilette, which is where's the bathroom, and Wo ist das Train, which is where's the train. I want to go to the bathroom and then I want to leave. Yeah, we went to go to the apartment. I go to open the mailbox door because he says the key is in the mailbox. I open the door fell off. And I'm like, this is going to be a much more different experience than we had in Paris because, or excuse me, in Colmar. The Colmar apartment, the gal was wonderful. We had champagne waiting for us. We had coffee, candies, sandwiches. And then we came here and, oh yeah, we knew when I walked in, like, look, the toilet's green. Forget it. This place is going to suck.
Radiator didn't work in one room.
The heater didn't work, yeah, and I called the guy, and he was okay, but it was obviously, in Zurich, this was a bottom dollar apartment, even though it was $218 a night. In Zurich, this is bottom dollar. The neighborhood was okay, we didn't have any trouble, but the clothes, the linens and everything were still wet, hanging on racks in rooms, and so you'd walk in the room, and they were as big as this table. I was like, well, where are you going to put stuff? So we're trying to fold up the sheets and make the beds, and I was like, forget it. And this shower, don't be fooled. I climbed in here, it was like, oh. I mean, it was very, this is a typical European shower, it's very small. If anyone wants anything to eat or drink, please get up and have something. I know we're a laugh a minute here, you don't want to miss anything. I'm not happy, but they had beer. after all the drama and that apartment and the door falling off, and then there was somebody moving out and all their stuff was in the hallway, and Joanne and Deb, we went to, the first night we were in Zurich, we were walking along the street looking at the Christmas things, and I said, let's get something to eat, there's a restaurant right there. It's all glass, so there are Muslim-looking people, I'll just leave it at that, in there cooking. I could care less. I've been all over the globe. I didn't see the words, you know, Afghan terrorists, please come in. This was a restaurant, but they literally stopped about 10 feet from the door, and Deb goes, oh, I'm not going in there. What's that? It was one of these Euro-Greek things where they do the lamb on a spit, and then they carve off of it. So Deb's just standing there with Joanne. I'm not going there. That's ISIS right there. No! Maybe inside somewhere we'll hear something being said. And then we're speaking Arabic. Yeah, and after about 20 minutes, I'm like, look, I'm going in to eat. I am freezing out here. I'm hungry. We need to just go eat. And I went in, and finally they come up. Well, then they're doing this. So what they were saying to me, whispering, was, I don't want that, I don't want to eat that, what is that? I'm like, it's chicken. It's chicken with folded over pasta. It's like a pizza. I don't know, Michael. I don't know. Deb, if I'm going to eat here and I was playing a joke on you, I wouldn't be eating at the same place. I would let you order first. After about 30 minutes, we finally got our flippin' food and sat down, but boy, they were on their guard, man. They sat down and she's looking behind her and at where are the exits. And watch this guy coming in. Look at him. Look, he's got dark hair. Dark skin. And forgive me, I apologize. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying that some stereotypes. So they were saying, I'm like, stop doing that. They're fine. Well, then after they had the first bite, oh, well, then everything was okay. Well, it was good. Yeah, okay. And we began having dinner, and now I'm happy. So then that's in the restaurant. You can see this guy behind us, this Afghan terrorist. Yeah, and that's the food. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I mean, yeah, Deb, this is a hot spot for the Lebanese terrorist group, chicken pasta. Swiss chocolate. We all know Switzerland's known for several things. Chocolate, cuckoo clocks, and Swiss watches. And this is the Swiss watch I bought in Zurich. I got lured in as a sucker. Joanne and Deb were walking in downtown Zurich. We're going to Zuchthauskeller for dinner. I see the Victor Einex headquarters, which is Swiss Army knives and all that. I walk in, I go, do you have any, guys, what are you looking for? I said, I'd like to see some watches. Okay, what kind of themes are you into? Huh? I don't speak German. I said themes. I know you did, but I don't have a clue what the hell that means. What does it mean, themes? Well, what kind of colors do you enjoy? Do you like a large face watch? Do you like a small face watch? I go, do you have anything between 100 and 200 bucks? No. 300 and 400? No, sir, I'm sorry, no. Maybe you should sit down and have an espresso with me and we'll talk about it. You have espressos? Well, then Joanne and Deb come in, a girl comes out with an apron, and she gets some espressos and coffee. I'm like, oh, this is not even a Visa shop. This is an American Express. This is not going to be cheap. So yes, over $500 later, I did walk out with a Swiss-made watch, which I'm still putting on. We did have some fun though, didn't we? We walked down this strip. So on the strip are Jimmy Choo shoes, which are apparently beautiful and very expensive. We went past the Salvatore Ferragamo shop, which is exclusive menswear, and I was shocked at the prices. And we went by the Omega watch shop.
Yes.
Joanne looked, I looked, I thought I saw $1,400. Swiss francs are the same as American, so $1,400 would be pretty much $1,400 bucks. So $1,400, no. $14,000 for a watch. I'm like, I got a deal. I walked out of there for less than $1,000, so I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, $14,000 for a watch, and I was like, what? Who wears a watch for $14,000? I mean, I couldn't even wear it anywhere. I wouldn't wear it in here. Yeah, look at my watch. $14,000, don't touch. Anyway, chocolate is not done in wrappers and all that. It's done in slabs. You buy it by the pound. And they bring out a sheet, they cut it up, and they lay it like bricks, and you buy it. Phenomenal. The most brilliant milk chocolate you could put in your mouth. Cool thing about Switzerland, no taxes on lottery, and if that's the amount it is, that's what you get. You know, in the States, if it says 140 million, you get 12. And then you have to pay taxes, right? This is the advertising of what it could be if you wait 75 years and take it over time or whatever. Switzerland, even if you gamble and you win $10,000, no tax, and you leave with that money. Yes, until you come back to the U.S. and you have to declare anything over $9,900. So Joanne and I played lotto, and guess who took a picture?
We didn't win.
So just to kind of trains, planes, automobiles, subways, trams, lots of places, turns to be made. I have to applaud Joanne. You know, she outwalked me. There were gaps, I swear to you, a foot across. She got her luggage across those ramps, across the gaps, onto the train. One train we took to north of France had a gap about like that. I said, Joanne, be careful. And then when you got on, you had to step down 2 steps to get to the lower level of the train. I mean, you really could break your damn neck going there. And Joanne, a champ, throughout the whole thing, down the steps, up the steps, down the block, on the subway, in the train. Deb, I'm glad she didn't do it to me. I don't know if I have it here. Deb took like hidden video of Joanne on the subway. And I saw the video and I'm like, Deb, because some guy was sitting on Joanne. And I thought he was a handsome guy. I'm like, Joanne, I don't know if he has a job or if he's retired or what he's got.
That's an advantage to being old, because every subway, every train, everything we stepped on, the minute we stepped on, somebody jumped up and said, you know, my seat for me. Not Deb, she's too young. She's way too young. They hang on to the pole, young. But the old lady said they did. Young men, old men, girls.
You talking about the
Young
upstairs,
women.
downstairs?
Huh?
The upstairs, downstairs, when I said we have to go up, and we got to the top
Yeah.
with that old man that brought your luggage up. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were at a train
yeah.
station. I misread the sign. I don't speak German, and I misread it. I go to turn. I'm carrying luggage, Deb's helping because her bag handle broke. Joanne was the guy. I will get your luggage. Up he goes, and I mean, this is no.
Flights
Oh my
of
gosh,
steps.
yeah, way up.
I
Get to
made
the
about
top of the
3
stairs.
steps.
He's walking away, and I go, oh damn, we were on the right track. We have to go back down.
I turned around, I took about
To
3
go down.
steps down. We're leaving, so we each have 3 bags, and we're a big old heavy suitcase. I made about 3 steps down, and some kid came running up, grabbed my suitcase, took it down for me, and stood by it until we were done.
I told her though.
Very, very.
I said, can we wait till that other guy leaves? Because I don't want him to know that we just had him haul your luggage. And I did offer to help. But I knew there were other people going to help.
So, people were really, really friendly, helpful, nice on all the things.
Yeah. This is an exclusive resort. This is more expensive than the watch to stay up per night. The name is actually Dolder Grand. The only way you could get here back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s was exclusive to a tram, mountain tram, that, you had to be on the guest list. You'd go to the tram, they would read, security would check, they'd phone ahead, and then you could take the tram up. There was no cars up here at all. Joanne, I think you knew how much it was a night.
14,000.
No,
Oh, my
it
God.
was 17. 17 and change, I think he said.
Okay,
I
but
believe it was more expensive than the watch.
you got the golf course too.
Yeah, one guy made it a point to say, well, for 17 or 14, whatever it was, $1,000 a night, you get free use of the golf course. And I thought, for that kind of money, and I had something else. The 3 of us, not freezing, but we were cold. But the hotel overlooks the city of Zurich and Lake Zurich, and it's really a beautiful place. It was a neat ride to go up in the train, and then the bus came up and got us, and really cool. They have was it Fila, the soccer thing, and they told us nobody could go in there? The champion,
Oh.
wasn't it behind there, that Fila, or whatever that soccer group was? They had a sports organization, which must have been like the mob in New York. Armed guards outside and all this, and they make the balls there for the soccer. And I'm like, really? And they've got armed guards. It's just a soccer ball, people. Take it down a notch. Yeah, they say you can't go in there, don't try to walk up there, you get in lots of trouble. Lake Zurich. Zurich has a very funny thing. It's called the Silver Coast and the Gold Coast. Tina Turner lives on the Gold Coast, and her place is called Algonquin. She's been living there since the late 80s. Yeah, we were surprised too. Apparently, she moved there many years ago and has become a staple of the community. But the Silver Coast is the lower end houses that start at $1 million and go up to $5 million. The Gold Coast, the guy mentioned that a house had recently sold for $22 million. So there, he mentioned that even though the U.S. has this rule about cash deposits and trying to track ISIS, there is a black banking market that you can still come over and say, look, I have $100 million, I don't want anybody to know, I want to deposit in a Swiss account like the old days. Okay, no problem. He says, you read what you want in the news, but it's a fact. The Swiss are known for having those Swiss bank accounts, and it's still done. You know, billions and billions of dollars. So we were like, what do you need to know? I like to walk in a bank, I have $100 million. I'd like to make a deposit, please. Give them my security. Are you really happy if you have $100 million? You can do one of two things. You can do number one, "Salah!" or number two, "Salah." If you don't want your friends and family to know, number two. What are you talking about? I don't know $100 million. Lake Zurich looking in the mountains. Really beautiful, very picturesque. Really neat scenery. Something I've never seen before, so I was happy that Joanne asked if we could go there. We're on the ferry. They have ferries constantly going back and forth. Joanne, I said, please do not get near the rail. If you fall into the lake, I am not yelling squat. I might point. That's all you're getting out of me. Finally, I had enough. I jumped in the lake. We're cruising out, and probably 200 or 300 feet from the shoreline, there's a guy swimming.
It was so cold.
Well, you saw the mountains, it's snowing, and there's a guy out there in the water swimming along, and I thought, no. And Deb, we took pictures. Yeah, beard and all. I thought maybe he's a Viking who just surfaced from the frozen water. You know, it's just like, what the hell is going on?
And the guy on the boat said, oh, it's good for your body. It was so
Yeah, those
cold.
Titanic survivors said the same thing. Of course, you're in Switzerland, you have to take a cable car. I have several views of this cable car. It had a capacity of 29. There were 23 of us.
Like this.
We literally were jammed in, and when the tourist guy said, but it's got a capacity of 29, I out loud said, no, it doesn't. There's no way.
We were so smashed I couldn't even get my camera up.
This is at the top of the mountain. You can't even see where the cables go down to the base. Stunning views, beautiful place to go. Best to do it with two nutty Americans, Joanne and Deb. And here you get a real view of just how far you're going down. And then the tourist guy goes, oh, and you know, Swiss cable cars never have an accident. I want to know that now while I'm in there. Why didn't you say wait till we're down at the bottom of the mountain and throw that little tidbit out there so I can knock on wood?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, a long way to go. It was very cool. This tour was very nice. It was only a 4-hour tour. Every other tour we looked at was 9 hours. I'm like, we can't do a 9-hour tour. We'll lose the whole day. But it was really very nice. We got to see a lot of Zurich very quickly. And then Joanne, after the cable car, was happy. Deb and me, after the cable car, were at the bar having shots. I had my nerves wrecked. Downtown Zurich. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. They, because of the fact that they have trams and everything are all electrified, for decorations, they just hang decorations off of the electric cables. And so the whole street just had hundreds of lights hanging. And then occasionally a cable car would go by and drag all of them down. No, I'm kidding. No, that didn't happen. Because then Joanne and Deb probably would have got involved.
Yeah, we would have had a picture.
Oh. Now, before they say this is the same picture, does it look like a picture of security that you saw earlier? Because the two were facing us. These guys are walking away.
Well, at least the guns aren't
For the love of God and your own bodies, please stop taking pictures of the security. So they had known that I said something, so they stopped taking pictures of the front of them, and they began taking pictures of the back. Like kids, don't do that. Okay. Well, I'm doing that because that's Joanne with her tablet. Everywhere we went, she had that damn tablet.
He was gonna bail us out.
You all are looking, you have them standing here, you're like, Joanne, Deb, really? Michael said probably 2 or 3 times or more, don't take pictures, but look.
They didn't see us.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful streets. I mean, you just kind of walk down there and you get lost in the Christmas spirit, and you see these things, and really some stunning pictures and things, that you look and you think, wow, this is really, really nice. Some more decorations and things. We happened to eat at this place called Zughaus Keller. The reservation was new to me. So apparently, I thought we had between 6:30 and 7:30 or 8:30 to get there, or 8. And you arrive at 6, you have till 8 to eat. We showed up at, oh my gosh, I think it was a 7:15. And the girl goes, well, you have 45 minutes to eat. And then your table goes to the next. I'm like, excuse me? Okay, I saw 6 to 8 o'clock or whatever. She goes, that's all right, you have from 6 to 8 to eat. That's what that means. I think that sucks, but So you speak French? No? Yeah, well, somebody told you, I'd be kind of upset too, especially when you get the bill. This poor guy, this is so, why there's even a statue is beyond me. So this is a literal truth. I looked it up, I got the details because we were introduced to him. So this is Hans Waldman. He led an army of about 12,000 knights, took over this town of Zurich, became the mayor, imposed some high taxes. 500 peasants got together, overthrew him, and then chopped his head off. In 1489. I don't know if his 12,000 guys were out drinking, or maybe it was a dance night at the club. So then they make a statue of him to honor him. And then the joke is, he continues to be this scorn of peasant birds who often rest on his head, because he's crapped all over. I mean, there's just bird poop all over him. I just thought, oh, enough. On to here, guess what kind of fountain that is? It's not water.
Yes, it is. It's a rock.
What did he tell us on the bus? You remember what he told us on the bus about this fountain? Every year during the summer, this fountain has an underground system. They fill it with wine. There are 2 of these fountains throughout this square, and you can drink from it. So guess who got off the bus? Ran over to the fountain, and guess who took the picture?
It was water.
It was water on this occasion, but you can't fool those Americans. They were going to go find out, and then Deb got in there and took a drink. One more alcoholic at the fountain. So here's what happened when I mentioned to you, I did not want my picture taken, I did not want it said, I did not want to hear it, I did not want it pointed out to me. No Starbucks, no Burger Kings, no McDonald's. We're leaving the Zurich train station to go to Paris. We're hungry. I said, let's go eat. We looked at a menu at the train station. It was very high, even by my son. I'm like, I really don't want to pay that. First thing out of her mouth was, there's Burger King over there. We're not eating at Burger King. We can get Burger King in Wahoo. Guess where we ended up? Deb is taking pictures. We're in Switzerland, and she's taking pictures of the menu at Burger King. Can you tell I'm not happy? At all. I'm just, this was definitely a number 2. Like solo. This is not the worst of it. Like I was some movie star. No pictures. I don't want my picture taken at Burger King on my trip to France and Switzerland. No. But Deb, in her infinite wisdom, took about 25 pictures of the menu, of the burgers, of the floor, the bathrooms, because the doors were really cool. Some strange people behind us. I don't know. Every second, it's that thing on her camera. And her flash would pop up, blind about 20 of us. I was like, we're at the Zurich Museum. Guess what the sign says? Please do not touch. They thought this was a real woman. Can you guess what they did? No. They took the picture after. They went touching. The security guard come over. You cannot touch. You cannot touch. Oh, we saw the sign. Did that girl not come over with the radio and get on to you two about...
She said, don't touch, and we said, okay. We just smiled in the picture.
If I'd have spoke any more German than, wo ist das Toilette, where's the toilet, I would have spoke it right then and there.
You had to see her, though. She was so
Oh, they're looking at her.
lifelike. I mean,
Really, lively. If she'd have moved, she'd have scared the hell out of all of us. He was like, no, this is wax, don't touch. And they were like, why is there even a wax figure in the museum?
Yeah.
The museum, unfortunately, I'll save you the money. Don't pay. It wasn't terrible, but it was a bit of a disappointment. There were entire halls of nothing. I mean, halls as wide as this entire section of this library, going through the entire library. Walked in, we're like, there's nothing here. So, it was okay, but it was not, we were expecting quite a bit more. Finally, we're done. We get on the correct train to go to Paris. And this is Gare de Lyon, train station of the Lion. We're at Paris finally, and we're at the Louvre with Mona Lisa. Yeah. 18 pictures at Burger King. How many pictures do you think she took of the Mona Lisa? Well, I just seen one picture. She's not going to change if I take another picture. One picture of one of the most priceless works of art on the globe. Do they have Burger King?
Turned off the flash?
Thank you. They were, what did I say? Gary, you told him? What happened?
Yeah, I got in trouble a lot with my flash going off in these museums.
I told him there's no flash photography in here. There's nothing protecting these arts, the work of art here. The picture's there on the wall. You could literally walk up, lift it off the wall, which she didn't take it off the wall, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let me go back one. I'll just show you real quick. So this picture, the Mona Lisa, I saw the first time in 1987. At that time, it was in the main gallery, and it had nothing around it, not even a box. It was just hanging on the wall, like you'd hang a picture in your house. You could literally walk up, pick it up, and walk out with it. People had done that. So the French authorities said, we have to put a stop to it, so they put armed guards on both sides, well, guards on both sides, a barrier. It's encased now. The funny thing is, Saint Jean the Baptiste, the original artwork by Leonardo da Vinci, is in the main hallway. We're out there in the main hallway. All those pictures are, there's a banister, and then literally probably a couple feet, and you could touch it. She swears she did not reach over the banister because they have lasers scanning the wall. You put your hand too close, the laser picks it up and alerts everybody in the building. Which we had people walk up to us, and I'm like, did you just put your hand on that painting? No, I didn't do that. No, she went. The laser either caught the camera or her hand, and I'm just like, what world do you live in where you can walk up and touch?
You didn't touch it.
She didn't touch it because security was on it. So,
to this little restaurant in Paris, a little bar area, Michael
anybody know what that is?
his meal. That
Is that raw?
it is raw. They served Michael his meal, and I said, Michael,
I had
you
steak
got chip.
tartare with
Raw
rye.
meat with a raw.
And
I
a raw
said, you got chip,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't cook your food.
Oh yeah.
Raw meat.
Yeah, this is steak tartare with onions and raw egg, and they pitched a roll. They're like, "You're not gonna eat that! It's so gross! Oh my God!" You know, you're in a private pub. It's probably 20 people at best. It's probably as long as that kitchen. There's, you know, Joanne with her tablet. Sorry. You know, and I'm thinking, you realize there are other people in here eating who are watching you go, it's our first time in France. Oh, look, there's signs. You know, and the flippin' flash is going off. And finally, like, Deb, Joanne, we're in public. If you were at Applebee's, and I walked up and I went, we're here. We're visiting. It's our first time. Can I just get you a picture? No!
No people.
What? How many of you have gone to a restaurant and take pictures? Well, let's find out right now. Who takes pictures of food on trips? Do you take pictures of the food you eat when you're on a trip? Anybody?
We did in.
Thank you.
Where were you?
England?
Alright. Oh, okay. She wants a number one from you. So, Savannah. Alright, that's one. Anybody else take pictures of their food while you're... You too?
Ireland. Ireland.
Ireland, okay. You can do that there as long as they don't blow you up in Dublin. Anybody else? In where? England. I thought for a second that you said Des Moines. I'm like, wait. No, I just sounded Des Moines. Ruth?
Guatemala. That's not
I almost want to ask what you were doing in Guatemala, but I'll just leave that alone. Guatemala, you probably wouldn't want to take pictures of the food in case you got sick. Like, this is what I ate. Like raw meat.
chicken.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't.
In Hawaii, you know, because they have those luau's and stuff.
That is for the effect. They took pictures at every single restaurant we went to, every single place we stopped and had any meal. They took a picture of the food.
Yes, we did.
It is a bit, when you're in a country where there's, you know, terrorist threats and this kind of thing, it is kind of a bit out of place, as politely as I can say it, to, you know, and Deb, the tablet's enough, but then Deb had this camera with this zoom, and, you know, I don't know that I can, you know, here. Oh, hang on a minute. I didn't get that. Hang on. All right, I got it now. I'm like, yeah, the zoom is in the man's head. Yeah, I mean, you know, she's got this zoom, and it's like that long. I'm eating it, and the thing comes past my head. I'm like, you really need to just stop that right now, because I am doing my best. Where's the camera? Do you have it here?
No, the zoom's that long.
Oh, sure.
In our defense, we took pictures of the ceiling because they had all these food balls. They're like soccer balls. The whole ceiling was covered with them. And
This is a local pub, which normally would not get Americans. So you can imagine, tablet, Zoom, there's a family in there with their children, they're handing the baby around, and then we're at our table not eating. Can we please just get your food? I feel like I'm at a table like at Applebee's. You know, just stop playing. Eat your food. Enough. The Louvre Museum. If you've never been, is the Palais du Louvre. It didn't go well for Louis XIV. He was married to Marie Antoinette. We all, if you don't know what happened to them, the French Revolution happened and they chopped their heads off thoroughly. And the Palais du Louvre was actually a home for the royal family. This place is bigger than the city of David City, bigger than the city. I mean, you can't fathom the halls. I'll try to give you some pictures. This is one room off a main hallway. Everything you're looking at is original artwork and paintings. These are all done with somebody laying on their back, stenciling in the art, and then painting back 16th, 17th century. These are all the original works. And this is the hall of the architects who designed the building, and their pictures are here. It's also the royal jewelry. So the ladies will love the, well, hang on, let me do this picture. This is St. Jean the Baptiste, so this is the original work. 7 years Leonardo worked on this, never finished. That's why there's black around his picture. He also, like Louis XV, it didn't end well for him. King Herod's daughter had a birthday wish. King Herod, if you know, was king of the Jews, and said, anything you want. I want Saint John the Baptist's head. And she got it. They chopped his head off and presented it to her on a platter. So unfortunately it didn't went well for him. But Leonardo painted this with him pointing up to Christ and that, but Deb, I think, touched this painting. I think she did. I bet if I scan it for fingerprints. This painting, I saw it in '87. It's in the same location for the last 40 years. You see all these people, all very lifelike, but something very interesting about the painting, when you look at it, nobody's looking anywhere but at people across them except that young lady and that dog. They're looking at the artist. So we were guessing that's the artist's girlfriend or wife, and that's his pet. But everybody else is carrying on, and this thing is, you can see how tall we are, and then the breadth of the painting to actually accomplish something like that, I can't fathom. I mean, it's just really beautiful, very lifelike. Please do not touch the Egyptian artifacts. Some of them are behind glass, some of them are not. Some of them are 5,400 years BC. BC means before Christ, which means they're 7,500 years old. Some Jewish slave in Egypt, before Moses came along, carved that. And then, you ready? This is one of those moments, if you were with your buds having a beer, you'd be like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I was doing a little ancestry work, and I found out this is my root.
You know, I being whipped and beaten and fed a slice of bread a day, and then some local American comes up and goes, love your sculpture. Proof is in the pictures. Hallways, beautiful hallways to walk down. There's probably 20 of them with different levels. Something really crazy about the Louvre, they have a really weird stairway. And so you can come to a platform, you can come down, you're on the platform, right? So stairways behind you go up. Those stairways go up. Those stairways go down. Those stairways go down. That alley goes down, this one goes up. This one goes down that way, that one goes down that way, and there are no signs. Deb took, I'm sorry, I don't know if I have it in here. If I don't, I'm sorry, but yeah, and I told him, I said, no, I'm not lying to you. We'll get to that platform, and there are no indications of where you should go next. You just walk and figure it out. And I showed them, and they're like, holy cow. There's 8 or 9 different stairs going up, down, to the sides, right, and you just walk, and then when you get into a gallery, then you can try to figure out where you're at. So it's really crazy. I don't know who, why, or if it's a joke on the public. Anyway, beautiful artwork again. The colors are so rich, and it's such a disappointment. You paint your house, 3 years later you got to paint it again. These paintings are over 1,000 years old, some of them, and the colors are brilliant. So just something I just laugh about when I'm painting. I'm like, oh, you can go get art from them. I'd love them to come paint that. This is the Louvre on the outside. This is just a section of it to give you some idea of how grand and how big it is. Again, the hallways, lots of artwork from various periods, the Egyptian period, Roman period, Mesopotamian period, if you know anything about history. Original pieces, which thank God were in glass. Well, because I saw Deb lurking around the Mesopotamian area, I'm like, girl, don't you touch that. You know, because she'd take her camera and she'd put the lens right up against the glass, and Joanne with her tablet, I'm like, if that falls over, I swear to God, I'm just going to walk out of here. No, it didn't. Oh, Deb. Number 2, Sava. See, the proof is in the pictures. I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry. Joanne and Deb were looking over the banister. I did say the words, don't even. Because all they had to do was go. And there was really nobody in that gallery. There was no security that I saw. I just thought, I said, I'll bet they're going to, one of them is going to step over that low banister, and I'm just going to be screaming bloody murder. Because this is all original furniture. You can't just walk up and touch this stuff. The oils from your hands will damage it. And boy, they were, you know, like two horses at the gate waiting to be fed. This banister's in the way. You know, the thing is on her leg, halfway up her leg, because she keeps scooting it up. I'm like, please stop, just please. Beautiful sculptures, masterpieces. I can't fathom how anybody could take a block and then, you know, carve something lifelike out of it. Deb staggers the imagination. She wouldn't do it here at the Roslyn, or, you know, you wouldn't see her like a selfie, you know. You know, but in the Louvre, millions of dollars in artwork. Go ahead. Just a snapshot of the ceiling. I know some of this might be a little boring, whatever, but just to imagine the brilliance of trying to accomplish laying on your back painting. It really is some phenomenal stuff to come in and actually look at it. So here's something for the ladies. A gift from Napoleon I presented to Archduke Marie-Louise of Austria on the occasion of their wedding in 1810. Subsequently, she bequeathed it, clever lady, to her uncle of Tuscany. This jewelry I'm going to show you. This is the original piece from 1810 that we looked at. 32 emeralds with a one weighing 13.75 carats at $180,000 a carat. 847 brilliant emeralds. 264 rose diamonds. This is the authentic piece. They remove it when the museum closes. They actually remove it. It gets locked away. So this is the 13 karat emerald here, and then this is 264 rose diamonds and other emeralds. So this was a gift to her. She knew it wasn't working out. She writes that she bequeaths it to her uncle. She has a carrier, and we were talking about this. How do you work that out? You know, hey, Joe, come here, get the horses. I want you to take my jewelry, go to Austria, which is not close to France. It's a little bit of a hike, especially from Paris, and give it to him. I'm leaving it to him. But you're not dead yet. I know. Yeah, so she gave her jewelry to her uncle knowing that it would be there for her when she left him. But imagine, you know, this is 1810 to have to make this piece, and where do you find emeralds in that day and diamonds? You know, you just didn't go to South Africa and say, you know, I'm here, because boats, ships, you know, it's not like today where you fly down. Okay, we'll get back to some funny stuff here. This is Deb ruining my day in France. Nice, peaceful, beautiful park in the Paris city, quite lovely. Deb heard that there are rats in Paris. There are rats in the subway. There are rats in the city. That's how they got the bubonic plague, which actually happened in London. Rats all over. We've been in the subways, see one rat. We've been on the buses, the trains, the trams, down in the tunnels, no rats. This is Deb, 5,000 miles from home, running through the park. We went to look at scarves. She takes off into the park. We're like, what the hell is going on? So this is what's going on. See the rat? She saw a rat cross the street in the park and left us at this little shop and ran after it. There's a rat! I saw it. Never in my life. We're 5,000 miles on an excursion, first-class trip to Paris. Geez, I feel like I'm with frickin' Abbott on the movie. Ooh, there's a rat! Come on. She literally, in the bushes, ask Joanne. He keeps running because you're chasing him. I mean, and he's there with the 28-200 zoom, which looks like a 12 gauge shotgun. I'm thinking that rat's probably like, you crazy American, get away from me! You know, the rat's screaming bloody murder in French, which some of it I got, I'm not going to repeat. But, you know, really.
I told her it was a squirrel without a tail. Don't worry, Debbie. It's a squirrel without a tail. It wasn't right.
Just staggers the imagination of it. Really, we flew over here and you are chasing a rat in the park. But I found one. I found one. Yeah, that's what my French friends, they'll come here and they'll go, "We heard you have rats all over." Yeah, we do. Why don't you go track one down and run around chasing it? So after the rat, we went to the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is the Notre Dame of Paris. There's Deb. Not me and Joanne, just Deb.
We are in.
So, some true history. The ground broke for the church in 1163, was finished in 1345, a couple hundred years later. And again, the flying buttresses, which hold it from collapsing in on itself. Just a new feature. You can't, just a unique feature. You can't walk here. You have to wait in line and go through security, and you have to walk up steps. There's no elevators. We talked about it. I couldn't, but we were going to see if they want to go in and turn out. We just couldn't do it. We were waiting for a particular tour, and we really wanted to see the inside of the church. Now, the height of this church is twice the height of St. Mary's. So you're walking up twice the height of St. Mary's, and then to walk along there, and there's really no barrier to keep you from going over. It's just that concrete, and in those days, they felt, a couple foot, why should you need any more? You're human, you should know if you step over, you will fall and kill yourself. Not like today, where we have to have signs and barriers, and then, of course, in Deb's case, they don't work anyway. I did lots of bad stuff, too. I'll get to that in a minute. Looking up at the church, architecture is very unique. It was also a defensive fortress when the Vikings attacked, some interesting history. It's also one of the most unique Gothic features of the period, that it was very Gothic. Very medieval, and so really interesting. The main, I don't know, what do you call yours in the Catholic Church, the name of this hall thing? Because they just said the hall. Signs all over. The nave? So, the nave, we have barriers. And signs that say, if you go into this area, quiet, please don't step over the barriers, and then just sit. We went and sat. These people are getting up, talking. I'm like, just go hit them. They weren't Americans. I don't know who they were, but we were like, really, And the signs were in several different languages. Again, some of the work in here, and I don't know, most of us, you don't know, this is a story being told. The different images actually tell a story about whether it's a saint or something, and all the artwork is in that. And it's just fascinating. When the sun rises, there's a blue hue that glows in the church. I don't know how the heck it gets done because some of these windows are different colors, but you can almost see the glow in this picture that when the sunlight came in, this blue hue just took over the whole church. Really, really gorgeous. And certainly it's a wonderful experience to be able to go in, if you're Catholic and worship, or if you're not, then to go in and still be a part of the experience. Again, just beside the church. Then we went to the Big Wheel with Deb.
Yeah.
This was my Sunday morning surprise. I said, I have a surprise for you. We're going to go to the Big Wheel. They didn't get it, so I just forget it. It's a big Ferris wheel, 70 meters high. I did take some video of us screaming.
Deb didn't take a picture.
Okay, video. Anybody want to make a comment? We're 500 meters up. This song goes well with my experience. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Dang it, I gotta shut that music off over there. Well, you're gonna get to listen to it if I can't turn it off. Well, enjoy. I thought it was perfect because the whole experience, I literally had nowhere to run to.